What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I got a dope video for y'all, for entertainment purposes only. So stay tuned to the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and leave a comment. But enough with this talking, and let's get straight into the video.
So robots attacking people now. Tesla robot attacks engineer at the company's Texas factory during a violent malfunction, leaving a trail of blood, forcing workers to hit emergency shutdown button. But hold on, because it get a lot worse. The robot had pinned a man who was then programming the software of two disabled Tesla robots nearby, before sinking its metal claws into the worker's back and arm, leaving a trail of blood along the factory surface. This is the robot that is responsible for the trail of blood. I do find that mighty strange. Like, what program told the robot to dig its claws in the back of the programmer? I guess the real question is, are there other robots that's thinking the same thing? If it was, that shit would be crazy. Now let me know what you think about this Tesla robot ripping skin back and elbows off in the comments. Like or follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. Follow me on YouTube if y'all want that exclusive content. Stay tapped in.
Robots attacking humans? I can definitely see this happen with one wrong programming error, either intentionally or unintentionally. It still can end up bad.
Do you guys see what's going on in Berlin? Yes, so hundreds and hundreds of farmers have meet up and they are dropping hot manure all over the streets in Berlin. Y'all see this? This is Berlin, Germany, y'all. And not only Berlin, Germany farmers aren't the only one having fun. You have the farmers in France as well. They are spraying manure all over the governmental buildings. Look at that, y'all. Drop it on the floor. Drop it on the floor. Wow, it's getting inside the house. Look, the door's open. Oh. They were also shredding hay and throwing them inside the government buildings. Look at this, y'all. You see, they don't want to show this in America because this will literally start a revolt. Wow. So there was a court ruling in the EU, okay, and they need to save 60 billion euros, okay? They are $60 billion in debt, y'all. So in order to acquire this fee, they had to save 900 million euros per year. And in order to do this, they had to cut the farmer subsidies. According to next year's budget, a partial tax refund on agricultural diesel along with tax exemption for agricultural vehicles will be abolished to meet the saving target. And the farmer said this would threaten their livelihood and the agricultural sector. So to retaliate, they are taking it to the government the best way they see fit. And as you can see in these videos, this is exactly what they see fit, y'all. And right over here as well, y'all. So this video is for educational purposes only. I'm showing you guys what's going on around the world just in case you don't know. But yeah, y'all, things are increasing. It's getting intense. Like, share, and follow for more videos like this, y'all. And let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below.
From the looks of it, they trying to make it hard for farmers across the world. Food is a big industry. We consume a lot and it's necessary for life. You can control the food, then that's one step closer to controlling the people.
I love how a lot of religious people now, especially after the UFO hearing, keep commenting on my videos and other creators' videos. Those aren't aliens, those are fallen angels. Hate to break it to you, but you're also a fallen angel. Yep. Are aliens fallen angels? Yes and no. If you look at the etymology of fallen angels, it's actually fallen angle. Light is consciousness. We all have consciousness. As long as you can perceive the word I, you can differentiate yourself, you have consciousness. You are aware. And light, like a light ray, it falls right into different realms. We are all fallen angles of light. We are all fallen angles of consciousness. Aliens are the same thing. So just as much as you are calling that alien a fallen angel, you're also a fallen angel. You are a fallen angle of light because you're in the third dimension, which is probably the densest dimension there is. You gotta ask yourself, if you're all high and mighty and you're one with God, how did you end up on earth? Someplace that is so hellish and everybody sins. Well, how did you end up here? Aren't you also a fallen angel? And this is something a lot of religious people are not going to like. These aliens actually come from higher dimensions. Now, I don't want you to think higher dimension means good. It doesn't. All it just means is that the physics of that dimension is different from ours. It's a lot grander. Compare a 3D cube versus a 5D cube. That is the difference. Now, because they come from a higher dimension, they're actually not fallen. You are the fallen one because you're in a lower dimension. People don't understand what the word angel means. Now, I have a video. It's literally pinned to my page. I have seen angels. They are nothing like aliens. What the US government is talking about right now are aliens. These are interterrestrial or extraterrestrial, other dimensional entities that have a form, mostly humanoid form, where they're standing on two legs. These entities have their own cultures, their own beliefs, technology. They have colonized planets. Angels do not do that. Real angels, the true definition of angels, they do not do that. True angels are observers of the matrix. They make sure everything is in order. It's an overarching energy. This is why you have the word archangel. This is why when a lot of people see true angels, they see wings with eyes. Why do you think there are so many eyes on angels? Because they observe you, they perceive you, they see right through you. Angels have an extremely intimidating energy to them. They are not love and light at all. They are almost like warriors. Now, people who have been abducted by aliens, they don't describe them the same way as angels. Aliens will take a bipedal form for the most part, and they will either have a very loving energy, depending on what race they are, or a very evil energy in which they use you for probes and stuff. Stop giving so much power away to aliens. Stop calling them fallen angels. You're making them sound like they're so much more powerful than us. When in truth, human beings, our DNA, we are even more powerful than them. We just forgot how to access it.
That kind of looked familiar. What do you think?
I need to do more clarification on this. Here, my friends, is a giant petrified tree stump with a giant petrified axe on it. Here is a biblical allegory talking about angels cutting down trees. Here is a biblical allegory talking about angels cutting down trees with axes. Here is a passage from Baruch, the book of giants, talking about an angel coming down from the firmament with an axe, cutting down all the trees but one, leaving one with 3 branches. This was a dream and an allegory talking about leaving Noah and his 3 sons. Yet all the while we have hundreds of giant petrified tree trunks all over the world. And we have this petrified tree trunk with the giant petrified axe laying on top of it. So here's what I believe. That obviously there's been multiple references to angels coming down with axes and cutting down trees. So we have the physical evidence of these petrified trunks, and there's plenty more. I could show so many. And then you have those 3, allegories. I'm sure there's more, but those are the 3 that I've found within a few minutes, okay? Now, the flood came, and there had to have been a way to escape it from the ground up, and I would think it would be these giant trees. So, if I were someone who's going to send a flood and was looking around and like, okay, these look like ways someone could escape. I'd be like, hey, angels, go down there and cut those. Here's some big axes. Well, bam, done. Okay, but everyone's like, dude, but some giants escaped the flood. How did that happen? Well, this is where you got to think logically again. See, all we're doing is making observations. You know, we see the giant tree trunks. We assume. We see the axe. We assume. We see the allegories. We're like, okay, maybe, well, God's referring to something when he gives these visions. So maybe he was referring to a place in time where angels had to come cut that down. But then also, at the same time, we got to think, how the heck did they survive then? Because some giants survived. What about the Andrew Dawson story? What about, Goliath? Well, I think the only way that these giants could have escaped the flood was if they came out of the caves afterwards, because maybe they were down deep underground and there were pockets of air. Because right now, if there was a flooded area over a cave and the cave went down, and then back up and then back down again and back up, well, the water would fill it until it went up. But then once it got level with that air pocket, there could be a whole part of a cave that goes down and opens up where an air pocket would have existed underground the whole entire time that the earth was flooded. I'm just saying. Just using logic here.
Anybody know if that's a real place or is that a fake photo? But a lot of those things look like they can be giant tree stumps or giant monuments of some kind.
The Bill Gates Foundation invested almost $100 million in Anheuser-Busch, the Bud Light company, after its stock fell due to the controversy with Dylan Mulvaney. And you have to ask yourself, why does he want to be involved in a beer company? According to the Celebrity Blinds website, Crazy Days and Nights, the wealthy farmer, that's Bill Gates, didn't make the huge investment in the beer company because he thought it would make a big turnaround. He did it so they would buy their agriculture stuff from his farms. That is a scary thought. That makes sense because we know he wants his GMO ingredients in as many products as possible. So now not only will you be eating his ingredients when you're eating McDonald's French fries or anything from McDonald's that includes their carrots or onions, but you will also be drinking his ingredients if you're going to be drinking Budweiser, Michelob, Stella, or Beck. Other than the lab-grown meat companies that he invests in, I wonder what other food products his ingredients are in. Let me know what you think about all of this down below.
Morbid Facts, Part 169. Music producer Phil Spector is widely considered to be a musical genius for his work in the 1960s with bands like the Beatles. But his much darker side was unraveled in 2003 when he murdered actress Lana Clarkson with a single gunshot wound to the mouth. According to the prosecution, Spector had previously pulled a gun on 4 different women when they didn't accept his advances, and he apparently took it to the extreme in this case. Phil's second wife, Ronnie Bennett, also alleged that he imprisoned her in his California mansion and subjected her to years of abuse. She eventually had to escape by jumping out of a broken window and running away barefoot. Ronnie was forced to surrender custody of her children in their divorce, claiming that Spector threatened to hire a hitman to kill her if she didn't. Spector's 2 sons later alleged that their father kept them captive as children and that they were forced to perform simulated intercourse with his girlfriend. Phil was eventually sentenced to 19 years in prison, where he ended up dying in 2021.
This guy sounds like a total monster, and that afro go crazy.
Is cryogenically freezing someone possible? Theoretically, yeah, there are slightly different methods, but for the most part, you die. Your fluids are replaced with a kind of antifreeze, and then you're placed in a tube with liquid nitrogen. There are lots of problems with it, but the biggest is cell damage. A red blood cell, for example, sits in a water solution. If you just freeze a body, that water hardens into ice crystals and will damage and crack the cells. There are some species that can counter it with antifreeze proteins, and studying those compounds has helped us develop chemicals called cryoprotective agents. CPAs are what we use for vitrification, or the transformation into a glass-like state. It's the science we use to freeze sperm and eggs. The problem is the levels we need to freeze an entire human body are toxic. So basically, we have all these people who are cryogenically frozen, but we're not entirely sure we did a good enough job that they'll wake up. There is no concrete evidence that Walt Disney was actually frozen, but Red Sox Hall of Famer Ted Williams' head was, along with an estimated 500 other people. The future researcher would not only have to figure out how to unfreeze them, but also bring them back to life. There are aspects here that make sense, and there are a lot of different scientists approaching it from a lot of different angles. So it's within the realm of possibility, but not for these people. If the technology to cryogenically freeze people proves to ever be successful, it will be a different process than the one used on them. And it will be with people who are alive. Benadryl Cumberbum.
The thought of coming back to life in the same body is crazy. Imagine leaving here and going to a life that you never could imagine, only to get sucked back here and realize this is shitty.
Never make wishes, and I'm about to tell you why. How many people seen the new movie Wish Disney just put out? The main character name is Asha or Aisha, which is really short for the word Ashe. In the movie, Ashe made a wish, and when she made a wish, a star came down from the heavens. I try to tell people before, we are just stars. But you are never supposed to make a wish, because once you make a wish, you is telling the universe you don't have something. But once you feel like you don't have something, you are saying you are incomplete. So therefore, a jinn or a genie can give you something in the material world, but once they give you something, you got to give them your soul back in return. That's why they say never celebrate birthdays, because you have to make a wish, and the genie or the jinn will always come back and collect. You ever wonder why they made the genie blue? It's because you made a wish and you use your throat or your throat chakra to make this genie manifest. Just like when we first wake up, the first number we see is 1111, but they lied to us and told us to make a wish. But once you make that wish, that genie actually takes your energy and it makes sure you never grow spiritually, because you pick the material world over the spiritual world. Be careful of your wish when you see a shooting star. A lot of the prayers and the help you ask for when you look up at the stars does not get into the stars. The reason why it's not getting to the star, because the moon is intercepting your dreams. In the movie Wish, he represents the moon stealing your desires. Your dreams and desires have to be strong so it can pass through the moon, so your energy can go back out to the universe. This movie was trying to tell us that our dreams and desires is being stolen from an outside force, and the star represents our spirit guides trying to come back and tell us what's happening. Check my bio for the ebook.
This video gave me goosebumps, fam. It's a haunted doll video.
Did that?
I think there was this woman named Heather on Facebook Live. She already knew it was a haunted doll, so she set up like a whole podium to praise it or something, and like they had
For the doll?
Yeah, for the doll, and then they had like candles, and like they had like a whole background of art and for it, and it was just placed in the middle, right? And her friend is just like recording it, right? And she's on Facebook Live telling everybody like, if anybody wants this doll, they can have it, because I'm not gonna take it anymore. And then as soon as she says that, look what happens.
Because
That looks
I
creepy
don't want to
already
keep
still.
her, but I'd like her to go to a good home. I mean, if there's somebody out there that's interested, I don't. Did that?
Seriously, I've got to believe seismometers can detect earthquakes, but not the spin of the earth? That doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, seriously, if you had to guess, which picture was produced by NASA and which pictures were produced by independent flat earthers that sent up, weather balloons with cameras on them? Which one would you think? The horizon shouldn't rise to eye level no matter how high up we go. This is kind of how it should work if we were actually on a ball. Did he say actually on a ball? Yeah. The Earth, I don't think it's a ball at all. I don't think it's an oblate spheroid, an ellipsoid, any of the above, and I've got good reason. Look at how much your guys' ball is changing. Like, you've really just got to analyze what they're putting in front of you, and you'll see the problems if, you're actually able to critically think. So if these guys were standing at these spots on the moon as they took their pictures, how was the Earth captured with the horizon of the moon? If the same face of the moon is always facing us, wouldn't they have had to look up? The moon can get seriously bright. What? Run off looking for globe Earth proofs and be reading this book for a long time. Sun's 93 million miles away. Sure. There's like tons of examples like this, 110 miles doesn't really make a lot of sense. This is what Mars looks like when you zoom in on it with a Nikon P1000, and this is what you'll get from NASA. How about 900 miles? Think the firmament is stupid? Sun's not a ball of fire shooting light in every single direction. Acts more like a spotlight over our flat Earth and all the other stars. Yeah, not looking super physical. Any of these planets or stars look oddly similar to like water and light interacting with each other. If you want to hear more though from me, you're gonna have to check out episode 1 of the podcast. Where have you been? We're gonna have episode 4 uploaded tonight, and yeah.
There. The hell is that thing?
Listen, TikTok, y'all know they keep trying to put the subliminal messages inside these movies and shit. This movie right here, y'all, was talking about the Nephilims, gods, fallen angels, and some other crazy subliminal shit. Peep the one eye at the top, the all-seeing eye, and peep this in the back. Peep. Look at this shit, y'all. What does that look like? Hold on. That was a subliminal about how they used to use stargates back in the day. This was their form of transportation, bro. Let's go. Peep this crazy subliminal, y'all. I'm telling y'all, the fallen angels and the Nephilims, right? And the movie, he like 10 times bigger than him, bro. And this is immortal. Now look, they flying up to the heavens, right? Y'all remember them crazy videos on TikTok that we were seeing, like moving cities and shit in the sky? Peep. Now look at this. This is a Nephilim, aka God or whatever. Look how big he is compared to him. And this is supposed to be his dad. Look at this shit. Bro, look at this subliminal, y'all. My man tugging on the sun. Peep this shit. Yo! Shit, TikTok. Bro, the flat earth, bro. And you seen that joint was local, like a spotlight. Look at that shit. Look how the sun is local, y'all. Look at that shit, the flat earth subliminal. I keep telling y'all. Look at that shit. They keep trying to tell y'all about the fallen angels and the Nephilim, bro, how they roamed the earth and they was ruling, doing crazy shit. I got all these videos lined up, bro. It's about to be some heat being dropped. Follow me, pay attention to wake up!
I love this and never knew they existed. Helicopters had kind of been around since the late 1930s, but the US military had their mind set on individual flying platforms. Technologically speaking, the 1950s were crazy. Quantum physics changed the world overnight. There were nuclear power plants, the microchip, and the first rockets launching satellites into space. Remember, this is the generation whose parents fought on horseback. So this was like a lot. There were a few different designs tested, like the 1031 flying platform, which worked kind of like a surfboard, so it was controlled by the pilot's movements. Yes! But its top speed was less than 10 miles per hour. Another design was the Williams X-Jet, which could reach speeds of 60 miles per hour, but it burned through fuel too fast and had a max flight time of 45 minutes. The favorite was the Delackner HD-1 Aerocycle. It worked like the 1031 in that you had to shift your weight to control its movements. The problem was that it was super dangerous. The rotors were right below the pilot, so one slip and you're a fillet. Eventually, the military realized the final flaw, so they decided to just remove the pilot, make it lighter, and design a wireless remote package. So, drones.